All right, let's look at 10.2, which is on the law of cosines. Now, the law of cosines is basically just a generalization of the Pythagorean theorem. Let's look at the three different forms of it. The top one says c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. And the other two forms are really just the same, but we've rearranged which variables are where. But notice on all of them, the variable you have over here is the same as the angle. And whatever your variables are here, those are the two that are multiplied together there. And what do I mean by it's a generalization of the Pythagorean theorem? Well, this top one, say C is 90 degrees. If C were 90 degrees, then cosine of 90, that's 0. So that would zero out this entire term, and you'd just be left with c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So it's kind of like you take the Pythagorean theorem and you add on like a little correction that corrects for that third angle not being a 90-degree angle. So anyway, the law of cosines lets us solve two additional kinds of problems, the side angle side and the side side side. So I want to look at both of those. So solving side angle side problems. On these, you have to be just a little bit careful. And I think what I want to do is just solve this example down here. And while I'm doing it, I'll refer back to these steps. So solve the triangle A equals 10, B equals 20, and C equals 50. So I'm going to make an attempt to draw this reasonably accurate. So I'm going to make this be my side B equals 20. And the angle here is in between the two. So that's going to be 50 degrees. And this is supposed to be 10. That's my A. This is angle C, which is 50. And now I'll just connect the other two sides over here. So we've got to come up with B, A, and little c. All right, so really there's not a whole lot we can do here. Notice on this problem the law of sines wouldn't help because the information we're not given any, the only angle we're given is C, and we're not given the little c across from it. So that's the reason we can't use law of sines to get started here. So what we'll do is use law of cosines to find this side over here, because what we're given is big C, little b, and little a. So I'm going to use c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. C. All right, so a squared plus b squared All right, so I've just got to work that out. And I'm going to do that all in one step on my calculator. Let's see, 10 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 10 times 20 times cosine 50. All right, so I put all of that in just one big step there, and I get 242.88 something. But now notice that's c squared. I'm going to leave that, and it's all of the. I'm going to leave the full decimal expansion of it on my calculator and take its square root. And so I get C is 15.58. So I'm gonna round that to 15.6. So that's my side over there. I'm gonna write that in green. So C is 15.6. Okay, so once we've got that, we've got to come up with the angles. So at this point, theoretically, we could use this together, this with the law of sines, to either come up with angle B or angle A. But you always want to use the law of sines to find the smaller unknown angle. Reason for that is the larger unknown angle, we don't know if it's bigger than 90 degrees or not. So what we want to do is find the smaller unknown angle first. That way we avoid any sort of ambiguity about having to check and see if there's more than one triangle or anything like that, because we know that the smaller unknown angle has to be less than 90 degrees. So if you look at these, I tried to draw this. I tried to draw this somewhat to scale, but between these two angles, B and A, B is opposite this side, A is opposite this side. So A is opposite the smaller side, therefore A is the smaller angle. So this is smaller than B. So I'm going to use the law of sines here to find A. So what I'm going to label this. Step 1, step 2. Let's see, we're supposed to find A, so I'm going to put my angle on top. Sine A over 10 equals sine C over little c. So I get sine A is 10 sine 50 over 15.6. So 10 sine 50 over 15.6. I get 0.49. 105, etc. That's really close to a half, so it looks like A is going to wind up being really close to 30 degrees. But I'm going to take the inverse sine of this, inverse sine of that answer. Yeah, I get 29.4 degrees. All right, and the only thing left to find here is angle B, and that part's easy. To get angle B, we just do B is 180 minus the two other angles. Let's see, 50 minus 29.4 degrees. So 180 minus 50 minus 29.4 gives me 100.6. So angle B is 100.6 degrees. All right, and that's pretty much it. The only thing you really have to be careful of is to do this right here. You find that smaller unknown angle first. All right. Now let's look at solving a side problem. Or actually, I'll put that in the next video.